So, longtime Sailor Moon fan, grew up with it, and I understand you are quite the Moonie as well.
Yep.
Who was your favorite Senshi growing up?
Growing up, it was Sailor Venus. I thought she was the prettiest, and I think that's probably why. I love Sailor Venus, but I related most with Sailor Mercury.
And then you ended up voicing Mars.
I ended up voicing Sailor Mars, yeah.
Did you try and get any of the other parts?
I tried for all of them.
Did you?
Even for Queen Beryl and Luna.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And when I was called back, it was called back for Luna. So I thought I was going to be Luna, if anything. But I got Sailor Mars.
I think you're doing an amazing job with the role.
Thank you.
This vocal cast has impressed me like no other, especially like the original dub. For the time, it was good, but this I think is just a next step.
Yeah, I love it. I still have nostalgic feelings. I go back to watch it every once in a while.
Yeah, me too.
She watches it a lot.
Yeah.
Every once in a while.
I can keep going on and on about Sailor Moon, so if anyone else has other.
So I was watching the broadcast dub of Tales of Zestiria the X, and it completely shocked me that you were the voice of Velvet. Yeah. So I just want to know, how was it like developing that kind of a voice? Because I've never heard you in that kind of range before.
It was a surprise to me. Well, I knew Velvet was going to be pretty like screamy, I want to say, because she gets very angry. So the way that we actually developed the voice was I auditioned for her, and it wasn't as deep. But as we were going through the sessions with all the screaming, what ended up happening was after I scream, my voice is pretty, I feel like it's pretty high pitched just normally. But when I get like vocal fatigue, it goes really deep for some reason. So what we ended up doing was screaming first and then recording her when my voice dropped. And so that's why it's such like a big contrast. Not recommended for beginners. Don't try this at home. Because if you don't know how to control that, then you could really mess up your voice. But I didn't. Because, yeah.
Similar to Ryuko with Erica Mendez.
Oh, did she say the same thing?
Yeah, I think she said something like that when at a Q&A with her.
Like screaming, it makes her voice deeper. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a good trick. Or like recording in the morning or night. Some people will if they have a deeper voice character. She was fun. I love her. Yeah.
I just sound like a zombie in the morning. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Your voice is beautiful all the time.
Thank you.
Oh, are you guys dating?
That was my husband.
Oh, you're more than dating. Yeah. Life dating. That's so sweet.
So you played Cerebella on Skullgirls.
Yes.
What was it like doing voice acting for a smaller video game versus something like Street Fighter?
So Skullgirls was probably one of the first handful of games I actually did because I recorded that when I was still in college. And it's a completely different experience because we're building Skullgirls from the ground up. So I saw it when it was in alpha, and then we did the first two characters, and I've been there for the entire process, and I've seen the game grow from the roster. I think it was like the original 8, I believe. And to see how popular it became and all the money it got through crowdfunding and how they were able to keep building this product, and to see the community so strong today has been really amazing. And it's really different because a lot of the times we see the finished product already and we are coming after it's released, because I usually do Japanese dubs like Street Fighter. I have something to add to that. Oh, and the most unique part about Skullgirls is hearing the Japanese voice cast do what we do usually, where they listen to our voices and then, lines. So I was like, oh, let's see how Kimlin sounds in Japanese, and they did an amazing job. Yeah.
What do you do to encourage creativity in your own mind when you're working on a project?
Ooh, encourage creativity? That's not something... I don't think I've consciously thought about that before, because for me, I feel like I'm definitely the happiest when I'm recording. I feel like all the hard work to get into the booth has paid off at that point. So when I'm in there, I mean, energy, keeping up my energy is one thing, because
Right.
sometimes you could do sessions that last 4 hours long, and that's pretty tiring for your voice. Yeah, I just feel like losing yourself to the script is probably the most important thing when you're recording or when you're acting, period, you know, because that gets you out of your head and you're in the world of the characters. And I feel like if you're doing it right, the passage of time, that you can't really feel that, if that makes sense, because it's just like, oh, I'm done, all right.
So you kind of get absorbed in that world.
Yeah,
So,
and that's one of
Very cool.
the best feelings, I think.
very cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
So,
Oh, I was gonna ask. So Youmacon's in Detroit, and you've been here before.
Yeah.
The last time you were here, or every time you come here, is there something in Detroit that you try to go to, try to see, try to eat, try to I don't know, experience?
So I've only been here once before. It was last Youmacon, and we really liked walking in Greektown. That was really fun. But we had the best steak ever at Joe Malone's down the street, so we're gonna go check that out again tonight. Is there anything you guys recommend?
Do you like ramen, and do you like
Yeah.
that kind of stuff?
go to Johnny Noodle King.
Johnny Noodle King?
Yeah.
It's like 2 miles
It's
away.
on West Fort Street.
Okay.
Which if you Uber there from here, it's only like 4 minutes.
Oh, really?
Not even that far.
Ah, yes. Okay.
But that's a
check it
good local establishment that's got a lot of
And it's
interesting
Asian
things.
fusion. Right now, the hipster scene is really like hitting Detroit. with
Oh,
the
is
food.
it?
Yeah, the foodies are everywhere here.
What?
So it's very good.
out. Tracy,
Place.
Johnny Noodle King. Write that down. Yeah, we're gonna go there.
Yep. And actually, the Two James Brewery here in Detroit actually made a special whiskey that they made pretty much because of that restaurant.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Oh, I can't wait.
so you should try that too. It's very good.
Oh, it's steak or noodles? I will have to decide this. Yeah.
Oh boy, she's hungry.
Go ahead, Mary.
Which character have you had the most fun with in all of your parts?
The most fun? I think it has to be Hawk the Pig from the Seven Deadly Sins. Have you heard of it?
I've heard of the series. I haven't watched it though.
So Hawk is a pig, and he's kind of a big pig, but in this show it gets pretty serious. But for some reason, when it comes to Hawk, like I don't want to give spoilers, but they'll like kick him around and like stab him and cook him and just.
Oh, I remember that.
You know what I mean? And it's just so random and unexpected that this would be happening, and my poor character nobody seems to care about. So we're just like, please help me. And also, we discovered that I'm really good at doing pig noises.
Would you give us a sampling?
Sure. Let's see.
Collecting all the scrap.
Collecting all this crap. That was so much fun to play that kind of like crazy comedy where it's just like I probably don't know what most of the show, the main plot is, just that I'm like always like, I'm gonna go save Elizabeth. Oh, I'm getting beat up again. You know, it was really fun.
So I would like to know, from your experience of Love Life, what your thoughts on Kotori? Because I know in Love Life she had a lot of critical scenes, especially towards the end of the first season.
Yeah. So Kotori in Love Live with Sailor Mars. I didn't mention this, but I have this tendency. I audition for everything now because the character I feel like I might not book, I always get, like Killua, Sailor Mars, and Kotori, and to create her voice was. I felt like it was going to be a stretch for me, but like no, like she's just kind of always been living, you know, inside me, oddly enough. And that show was just really fun. It reminded me of K-On! A lot because I worked at the same director, Tony Oliver. And when we do these slice of life high school shows, I feel like it gives me the high school experience that I didn't have. You know what I mean? Where it was just, I mean, mine was fine. It was okay. But these girls, like the life that they live is just so pure. You know what I mean? Just, you know, they want to create something and they do it together and they go through all these trials together. And I think that's probably my favorite genre. And that includes like Sailor Moon as well. Just being part of a group like that, you know? Yeah. Thank you.
So one of your roles is Kahlua from Hunter x Hunter.
Yes.
And it's really common for voice actors to have to voice a character that was really originally done by another actor in Japanese, but this was a bit more unique in that Hunter x Hunter had a dub in 1999. So you were taking a character that had already been done in English, and you were doing it. Can you tell us about that?
You know what? I wasn't aware that it was dubbed already, actually, and I found out later. I didn't know because it's a completely different series. You know what I mean? Because there was a 1999 then a 2011 version. So at the time when I was cast, I just felt I didn't think that there was another series and that one was dubbed already. So all of the inspiration for the voice, it really comes from the Japanese. I feel like we try to stay as close to it as possible, you know? But it is interesting. And I mean, I feel like I've done shows like that before, redubbed shows. So Sailor Moon is another one where there's another cast. And it's interesting. And I would love to meet, you know, I want to check out that original dub in the original series and see what they did differently.
Did you have any qualms about redubbing a series that had already been dubbed before?
I did not, because the original series was, I mean, I grew up loving it. It's what got me into voice acting, really. But it's so different from the Japanese version. You know what I mean? Entire episodes were cut, storylines were changed, and it wasn't completed. And I feel like that this time around, we go really close to the original Japanese. So that to have two different casts, I think, actually serves the product, because you have one version, which is the 90s version, which is great in its own right, but you also have this new version, which almost doesn't feel like the same series at sometimes, and that's available for fans as well, and I think it just kind of doubles the fun, or triples if you watch the Japanese version too.
I hate to make a parallel, but when you were talking about it, it reminded me of, have you watched Todd Haberkorn, Vic Mignon, and their Star Trek Continues?
I have. I was in that.
You were in that. I was thinking I may have seen that.
Oh yeah.
So you much like they're redoing it out of love for the show. It's,
Yeah.
You know, as opposed to Anyhow, thank you.
Yeah, because we come like most of the cast, at least knew of the show. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's like we have all this love for the original cast, and for the original Japanese version. So at first it was pretty scary, because we're like, oh, we got to do all these things justice for the fans and for the original actors who brought, you know, their love to the table. And yeah, it's been pretty crazy. I can't believe it's been like 2 years already since we started.
Yeah, and I think like revitalizing that series has been so important for the English audience, because I've tried to share Sailor Moon, like the Japanese version, with so many of my friends, and before they wouldn't watch it because they just can't get into the subtitles.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Americans don't like subtitles.
Right. And, you know, for me, it's like I study Japanese, so it's, you know, it's no big deal. But for them, to your credit, it's extremely important. And I totally see the love for it. So
Thank you
for doing that. It's really awesome.
My pleasure.
Following up on Sailor Moon, you mentioned that there's some news that you can't share, but is there something that you can give us for that? Anything new about the series, the redub?
It's still going strong. I wish I could talk about it. We're still waiting to dub season 3 of Sailor Moon Crystal, and I'm excited because I decided not to watch it because I want to be surprised when I'm recording it. Oh, I can't wait. The character designs. Again, I love the old ones, but then these ones are also really awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to check that out and to finish, because we had kind of a long hiatus recording-wise.
So for season 3, are you going to like watch it right before
No.
you do the recording? You're going to record and then watch?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Because I was curious for Crystal, because I had heard interviews with Robbie Damond before, and he said, I don't listen to the Japanese, I don't listen to the English audio, because we need to just like make it
fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to do that. I used to watch the entire series, but now I'll just read up on it, because because as much as it's your work, it's also the directors, and they have a better understanding.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So you want to make sure that you're easily shapeable for them.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank you.
As a Moonie that I'm married to one. She has a Sailor Moon outfit. Do you ever cosplay as Mars or Venus or anybody or anything like that?
When I was in college, a friend of mine, Mickey, said that we should cosplay as like the princess versions of Sailor. She wanted to be Sailor Mercury, and she's like, "Oh, you should just be Sailor Mars," because my hair used to be super long, and I was like, "Well, fine." You know what I mean? It's like she's not Sailor Venus, but okay. But yeah, so I'm sure you can find pictures online. I totally cosplayed Sailor Mars years before.
That's awesome.
You know?
We did a Sailor Moon themed wedding, and I had my bridesmaids dress up as the princess version.
What?
So yeah, I'll show you pictures.
I want to see them. Is it online too? It feels like it would be like viral.
Yeah, I haven't blogged it yet.
Oh
But
my
I'll show you pictures.
god! When was that? Sorry.
Over 2 years ago.
And then everyone started doing Sailor Moon weddings. I
Oh,
was like,
really?
I should put this online a long time
Trendsetter.
ago.
Trendsetter.
Yeah.
Okay.
I legitimately want Kermit the Frog to officiate my wedding.
Is he hearing this?
He is. He knows this. He knows my plan to bring Kermit in.
That's
And I want to
great.
get married at Disneyland, and I want Kermit to officiate, and I want there to be a musical number.
That's amazing.
This is gonna happen.
That's great.
It's gonna happen.
You mean like with the groomsmen and ladies dancing and
Yeah,
such?
I want it.
long hours of
Can you
choreography.
please like record that or stream that?
Yes, it's gonna be
That
streamed.
sounds awesome.
What kind of a style of wedding? Like Cinderella style, Aladdin style?
Oh, I don't know.
Pirates of Penzance.
I want it to be like kind of like a quick, fast thing because I'm not good at parties. I'm just like, all right, let's do the thing. All right, let's go to Disneyland. But yeah, all I know is that I want Kermit to say, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride. Yay! I want it to happen. Hint, hint. I mean,
So would you want it done as a puppet or a full person in a suit?
no, like
No, the puppet, right?
The
actual-
puppet.
Yeah.
the actual-
The Kermit
Oh,
the
yeah.
Frog. Oh,
This
I
would
wonder
Totally.
if that's possible. Because I
Totally.
had a friend who got married at the Jim Henson studio. Like, you could just rent it out for pretty inexpensive. But I wonder if Kermit's for rent.
I'm sure.
For Cristina Vee. We'll make it happen.
Yeah!
There are enough fanboys and girls to make it happen here. So
Yes!
Put
And I'll dress up
everybody's
as Miss
powers.
Piggy. Like,
All purple.
Tracy's probably thinking, like, what am I getting myself into? He's like, I didn't agree to any of this.
He's smiling.
All right.
So you play Mako, a new character in the Digimon Tri
Yes.
films. Did you watch Digimon earlier before? And if you did, what was it like? What did it feel like yourself becoming a part of this universe you liked?
See, when I was a kid, I was really big into Pokemon. And so, I don't know if it was just me or because I felt like there was this mentality of it's either Star Wars or Star Trek. It's either Pokemon or Digimon. And so I was very much Star Wars Pokemon. So I didn't watch it when I was growing up, but I've heard that it's like so amazing. But when I got the audition, I was really excited and I connected to Mako right away. And it was really great to be part of a franchise that so many people love and to originate a character, you know? So I'm looking forward to more.
What was it about Mako that you felt a connection to?
The other girls are pretty, I want to say like exuberant, like, oh, hey, what's going on? But Mako's just pretty shy, and I feel like that's, like those characters are the easiest for me because it's closer to my personality, just kind of softer and quieter, and I just feel like with her, there's going to be like a secret. You know what I mean? Like something's going to happen. I just feel it. Something big. I haven't seen the other movies, don't tell me if I'm wrong. But I'm excited to find out. Yes.
So I know you had a minor role in the show. This is about Your Lie in April.
Okay.
So I met a bunch of the other cast of Your Lie in April: Erica Mendez, April Lindbeck, Max Middleman, Colin Carly.
Yeah.
They've been talking about how it was a very emotional experience doing the recording of that. So I wanted to know what was it like when you were doing your recording for Your Lie in April.
Okay. So I play a little girl, and she's just very like, "Hey, what's up?" And people are always telling me like, "Oh, the show is so sad, it's so deep and emotional." I'm like, I probably have as much knowledge about what's going on in that show as my character because I haven't seen it yet, and I'm afraid to watch it because
it's sad.
It's sad, and I know what happens at the end. So my experience was just like, eat it! Yay! We're gonna over here! And so it's a very different show for me than it was for those guys, that's for sure. But I'm glad to be part of it.
You got the easy one.
I got the easy part.
You probably walked out of the studio like, I thought this was a sad show.
I was like, that was great. That was so funny.
Contrary to all the other voice actors who did voice work for that show.
Yeah, exactly.
So Christmas is coming up. What are you asking for? What's the top of your list?
The top of my list? Oh, this is pretty basic. But there are these boots from Free People that I really want.
Not as basic as pumpkin spice.
Tracy ordered a pumpkin spice non-fat latte at the airport. It's like, oh, you got the basic drink.
Nice.
Yeah. Sorry. And also hoping that the Ladybug Christmas special gets to air this year. That's what I'm hoping for. And peace on earth.
Peace. Yeah.
I hope you get on.
All right. Any more questions? Yeah.
Were there any characters that you didn't expect to be so popular, but it was very popular among fans?
Oh.
Any character voice?
I don't think I expected Ladybug to be. I knew it was going to be big, but I didn't realize how. I didn't know it was going to blow up the way it did. And it's really cool because I feel like this show it gave me the same feelings I had watching Sailor Moon when I was growing up. So it's like, oh my god, because I got to watch the show before most anybody because we were recording it, and I was like, this show is so good, it's gonna be so awesome when it comes out. I can't wait for it to come out. And now it's out. It's like, yeah, look guys, isn't it good? It's like I have people to talk about it with now, and yeah.
There are a couple of people cosplaying it this weekend.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've been to so many conventions and I've seen tons of Ladybug and Cat Noir cosplayers.
Yeah.
Tons of them.
So good. Let's see, what's another one that kind of exploded? Oh, Blaze Blue is really big for me. And Skullgirls was a good surprise too. It's those roles that kind of stick with you through your career. And I've been doing it. I feel like I've been doing it for long enough now that I see the roles that will probably be with me for a long time.
I'll ask you too. What question are you tired of being asked whenever you go to cons?
Oh.
Or just in general?
It's kind of it's not that I'm tired of being asked it, but it's just such a hard question to answer, and it's the, how do I become a voice actor? And it's hard to answer because there are so many different paths that people take. Like, you probably won't find the same journey twice. You know what I mean? And I just feel like it's such a big answer that I'd rather not try to condense it at a panel. You know what I mean? So that one's pretty tough.
Yeah,
But it would
sense.
every single panel. People will ask it once, or then somebody will come in later and ask it again. So it's like, it's such a hard question,
You were voice acting when you were in college. How did you get into it?
I feel like it's a sheer force of will. Because there was really nothing that I had that would lead me to this career. I grew up in a place called Norwalk, and people don't go on to become actors or voice actors there, and I didn't have any connections, but I just knew I really wanted to do it. So I did a lot of things on the internet, and I tried to get as good as I could, and I got really lucky, actually, because I got an audition when I was in high school for an anime.
Wow.
And that's pretty rare. So I just kept trying my hardest.
Norwalk, which state?
California.
California.
Yeah, because I know there's one in Connecticut as well.
No, I think there's multiple in multiple states.
Multiple, yeah.
I think there's a Norwalk in Michigan.
The
and-
Springfield.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's like
Oh, okay.
Springfield, yeah.
Going back to The Simpsons, right?
Yeah.
Very cool. Thank you.
Thanks. Any more questions?
Who is your husband, do?
My husbando? Oh, that's a good question. I have 2 husbandos. Sorry, Tracy. Husbando. Okay. My first husbando is Squall from Final Fantasy VIII. And I think it's because he's broken inside and I want to fix him. My second husbando is Hero Yui from Gundam Wing. And I think it's because he's broken inside and I want to fix him.